So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, we are going to be discussing a very unique concept of Kaal Purush Kundali and how with the help of the Kaal Purush Kundali, we will understand the planetary conjunctions in your horoscope. Now this is the video of a predictive astrology. And I know many of you are beginners in Jyotish and you want to understand the planetary conjunctions, how to study planetary conjunctions in Vedic astrology. So we will first of all try to understand what is this Kaal Purush Kundali. We can also call it as a Aries ascendant chart. Okay, so you can see the number 1 sign which is written up there. It's the sign of Aries. So Aries ascendant chart is known as the Kaal Purush Kundali. So don't get confused if you're not familiar with this word, but the simple chart, the Aries ascendant chart, in which this first house is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, the sign of Cancer, the sign of Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. So this is the Aries ascendant chart, which we also call it as a Kaal Purush Kundali. Now using this Kaal Purush Kundali, today I'm going to help you to understand the planetary conjunctions. 99% of the charts in Vedic astrology, they are having certain planetary conjunctions. Maybe conjunction simply mean, the word conjunction is when two planets are conjunct in one single house. It may be, for example, you are having Saturn and Venus conjunct up there. So this is known as conjunction, okay. Maybe you are having 3 planetary conjunction of Moon, Mars and Ketu. So this is a 3 planetary conjunction. Maybe you are having 4 planetary conjunctions like Sun, Venus, Ketu and Jupiter. So this is a 4 planetary conjunction. So whenever the planets are actually getting conjunct, it means 2 or more planets. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5 planets, and in very rare cases 6 planets that are also conjunct in one single house. So the word conjunction means 2 planets which are sitting in one single house. This box is a house actually, okay. So with the help of this Aries ascendant chart, we will try to understand how to decode the conjunctions and how to study the planetary conjunctions. And we will also deeply dive into the predictive astrology using today's video. Although I'm not going to be covering more over the Karmic influences of the conjunctions, because if Saturn is forming connection with Venus, so Venus is the representation of your wife, marriage, and what the Karmic influences are going to be there in the marriage, we will not go deeply into the Karmic part, but we will be more over the predictive side, okay. So what will happen when 2 planets are conjunct in the horoscope and how to study this thing. Now, there are many methods in which you can study the planetary conjunctions, but today I'm going to be teaching you one of the most simplest method. And even if you are a beginner in Jyotish, you don't know anything with regards to conjunction and how to decode it, this video is going to be very helpful for you, okay? And I request all of you astrology lovers to please watch this video till end so that you can gain the maximum thing in your own life. First of all, I'm going to be taking certain examples up there so we will understand. And yes, we cannot forget our Rahu and Ketu at the same time. So I'm going to be discussing the case of Rahu and Ketu at the same time. Let me take the first very classic example of the Sun and Venus conjunction in one house. Maybe Moon and Mars conjunction in the horoscope. You are having Saturn and Rahu conjunction in the chart, or maybe you are having Jupiter and Ketu conjunction in your horoscope, or maybe you are having Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in the chart, or maybe you are having some difficult conjunctions like Mercury and Venus conjunction in the chart. So we will try to understand how to decode this conjunction using this Kaal Purush Kundali. Now first of all, pay attention here. This is a Kaal Purush Kundali Aries ascendant chart, and you need to first of all understand what is Aries ascendant chart. Only then you will be able to understand the concept behind the planetary conjunctions, because if you will not be able to understand what is Aries ascendant chart, it become very difficult for you to go into the forward manner. So first of all, let's try to understand this Aries ascendant chart. Now look here, this is a first house in which the number 1 is written. Number 1 is nothing, it's the zodiac sign simply, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the zodiac signs. So this is the first house in which the sign of Aries is posited. This is second house, the sign of Taurus is posited. Now every house in this case is ruled by some specific planet, okay? Like I will write it here, all the planets, so that you can understand. The sign of Aries is ruled by planet Mars, and the Scorpio is also ruled by planet Mars. The sign of Taurus, it is actually, let me use some different color. This is ruled by Venus, and the sign of Libra is also ruled by Venus. The sign of Cancer is ruled by planet Moon. Similarly, the sign of Gemini, it's ruled by planet Mercury, and the sign of Virgo is also ruled by planet Mercury. Sun is ruling the sign of Leo, and on that side we are having remaining thing. Saturn is ruling the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, and the last one is Jupiter, that is ruling the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces. Now for example, take the case of Sun plus Venus. Suppose you are having Sun and Venus conjunction in one single house. Now what you need to understand, look in the Kaal Purush Kundali and look where Sun is present. It's in this house, and look at where Venus is posited. So in that case, Venus is ruling the two most important houses. Now how to make prediction here? If you are having Sun and Venus conjunction in your horoscope, it means first of all, your 5th house lord and your 7th house lord, they are conjunct together, and even 5th house lord and 2nd house lord, they are also conjunct together. Now 7th house is the house of marriage, married life aspect, and 5th house is the house of children. So if you found any chart with Sun and Venus conjunction, you can simply say to that person, in your horoscope there are going to be some severe karmas. It may be negative, it may be positive, but there are certain severe karmas which are connected between your marriage and your children. So for this person, whosoever is having Sun and Venus conjunction, the event of marriage and the event of childbirth, it's a karmic thing, and that karmas are also going to be creating impact into the wealth aspect of the native. So if you write in this Sun and Venus, what are the areas which are getting impacted? First is the children, second is marriage, and the last one is wealth, or money is also getting impacted. So if you are having Sun and Venus conjunction, you need to simply pick the significance of both of these planets. Now Venus is, as I told you, if it is ruling the 7th house, this is the house of marriage. Venus is also gaining control over the 7th house. This is also the house of business actually. Any sort of partnerships are seen through the 7th house. So if Sun is actually entering up there, this is also forming a Lakshmi Yoga, wealth giving yoga. Why? Because this is a trine house and this is a quadrant house. Now many of you say, I'm a Sagittarius ascendant or I'm a different ascendant. So in my chart, Sun is gaining control over this house, or maybe Venus is control over this house. So is that thing applicable to me as well? Yes, 100%. That is applicable to you as well. Irrespective of the ascendant, I will tell you, these planets and the zodiac signs, they are having the urja, energy of one particular house inside them. I will give you second example so that you can understand in more detail actually. Take the example of a Moon and Mars conjunction in your chart. Now, what is planet Moon in Vedic astrology? Moon is gaining control over the 4th house, and Moon represents your mental emotions. Moon is also the representation of your mother. Moon is your mood actually. So how moody you are right now, what are your feelings, what are your emotions? So that is planet Moon. If your Moon is forming conjunction with Mars, it means the 4th house and 1st house and this 8th house. These energies are conjunct actually. So wherever the Moon and Mars are present in the horoscope, in whichever house, in whichever chart, you can simply see there are going to be lot of transformations, because 8th house is the house of transformation. There are going to be lot of transformations happening because of mother, because Moon is simply the representation of a mother. So what kind of transformations are going to be happening? It may be positive, negative, it depends over the zodiac sign placement and the house placement in which these planets are conjunct up there. But 100% because of the mother, certain transformations are going to be happening up there. Mars is also the significant of land, real estate and property related matter. Mars symbolizes land, real estate and property. So what will happen when Moon and Mars are conjunct in any horoscope? There are going to be some disputes over the property that is also going to be seen. Now why I am using the word dispute here? Why I am not using any other word? Because 1st house is also involved up there and 4th house is also involved up there. 4th house is also representing your family. So if your family is forming connection with the 8th house, first of all, you are going to born and brought up into a very karmic family. So whosoever is having Moon and Mars conjunction, they are having a very karmic family actually. Similarly, if I add some more planet in it, suppose Moon, Mars and I add Mercury in it. Now what will happen? Moon, Mercury and Mars conjunction. Mercury is gaining control over the 6th house and 3rd house. So 3rd house is the house of siblings. It means with regards to sibling and mother, some property disputes are going to be there. 6th house is also the house of your disease actually, debt also, like taking some sort of loan debt from the bank. So if this conjunction is there, 100%, there is going to be some mortgage, some debt related issues which are going to be happening with the real estate and between you. Irrespective where this conjunction is posited in the chart, I'm telling you, this is the simplest way to predict in any horoscope if there are some planetary conjunctions. And I will tell you 99% of the charts, they are having some sort of planetary conjunctions in their horoscope. Take the next example, Saturn and Rahu. It's a special case now. What will happen here? Saturn is gaining control over the 10th house and 11th house. And 10th house is the house of your career basically, career, okay? And 11th house is the house of your hopes, wishes, desires and your incoming gains also. 11th house also represents the capacity of a person to earn 100,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. So what is your earning potential? That is seen through 11th house. It means Saturn is first of all gaining control over your career and monetary part. Now Rahu is conjunct up there. Now Rahu is also co-ruling the sign of Aquarius in this case, and in case of Ketu co-rules the sign of Scorpio. I will go towards that part also, don't worry. But if you are having Saturn with Rahu conjunction, now what is Rahu? Rahu is the planet, in whichever planet that Rahu is conjunct, Rahu will amplify the significance of that graha. It means first of all, Saturn and Rahu conjunction is naturally going to make you a very workaholic person, okay? Workaholic personality. This is also going to make you very eccentric, you can call it as very eccentric person. And this conjunction is also have the capacity to give you wealth. This conjunction also have the capacity to amplify your desires up to very large extent. So suppose you are having desire. So your desires are also getting amplified if you are having this Saturn and Rahu conjunction, because Rahu is the amplification factor. It also represents there are going to be certain major transformations which are also going to be happening in your career. Because Rahu is also the planet which have the capacity to bring sudden transformations. Suddenly, out of a sudden, some new things are happening. Maybe you are right now doing a mundane job and you are next day promoting to the highest most position in your own organization, that is Saturn and Rahu. At the same time, suppose you are having Jupiter with Ketu. So Jupiter is forming connection with the 9th house and 12th house. Now, and Ketu is forming connection with the 8th house. Now, what is happening here? First of all, 12th house Lord and 8th house Lord, they are conjunct up there. It means what will happen when the 12th and 8th Lords, they are forming conjunction? There are going to be lot of mystical energy. You can also call it as intuition, instinct and intuition. Instinct and intuition is going to be present inside you. With Jupiter and Ketu, 9th house is the house of your Guru. So with Jupiter Ketu, you will not be able to listen to your Guru. Or you yourself is going to become a Guru at some point. Ketu is also a malefic planet, okay? So it means totally discarding the belief systems of some other person. 12th house is also the house which represents foreign lands and foreign countries. So Jupiter, if it is forming connection with Ketu, there are going to be some major transformations, because 8th house is the house of transformations that are going to be coming in your life as soon as you are going into foreign land and foreign country. Jupiter gaining control over the 12th house is also the natural house of losses. Any sort of losses are seen through the 12th house. So if Jupiter is forming connection with Ketu, it means 100% there are going to be financial losses out of a sudden. That will also going to be triggering because of the Jupiter and Ketu conjunction. In the similar manner, suppose you are having Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. Now Saturn is your career and your hopes, wishes, desires and your money. And Jupiter is the 12th house, which is the house of loss, foreign land and foreign country. So if the person is having Saturn influence over the Jupiter, or maybe Jupiter influence, like they are forming conjunction in the horoscope, first of all, they both are very mature planets, okay? So what will happen? This is naturally going to give you a very strong level of mental maturity inside you. Second important point, Saturn, I told you, it's the significator of the incoming gains actually, that have the capacity to bring money towards you. Now, if it is forming connection, this money lord is forming connection with 12th house. 12th house is the house of expenses. So Saturn and Jupiter also represents expense, but up to very large extent. So this is the conjunction which also represents something big expense, or big expenses, and even big investment can also be seen because of this part, because 12th house is also the house of investments. In the similar manner, Jupiter is a significator of a husband in the female chart. So if you are a female watching this video and you are having Jupiter forming connection with the Ketu or Saturn, so what will happen Jupiter with Saturn? It means your partner is going to be very mature. Saturn represents also old age people. So there are going to be highly likely chances your partner is also going to be from more older age, older than you actually. Saturn is also the symbolism of workaholicness, so that workaholic personality is also going to be there. Saturn is the planet which represents the cold-heartedness in general. So that qualities are going to be present inside your partner. In the similar manner, suppose you are having Mercury and Venus conjunction. Now this is a very, very eccentric conjunction of Vedic astrology. I will take some other examples also, don't worry. So you can understand this thing in more detailed manner. Suppose you are having Mercury with Venus conjunction. Now look here, Mercury is gaining control over this house and Venus this and that house. Now what you can say with Mercury and Venus? This is the house of marriage and this is the house of divorce. It means divorce yogas are present in the horoscope. Divorce will happen or not happen, it totally depends over the dignity in which this conjunction is present. But whenever Mercury and Venus are conjunct in the horoscope, whenever, I will tell you, this will create some disputes in the marriage and the married life aspect. Mercury is also the planet of duality. So Mercury Venus can also give multiple relations. Multiple relations can also be seen if you are having Mercury and Venus. At the same time, Venus is gaining control over the second house. Second house, I told you, it's your wealth, it's the savings account. And sixth house is the house of debt, acquiring loan, mortgage and debt. So this person will also going to be acquired debt or loan can also be seen. Mercury is also gaining control over the third house. Third house is communication, capacity of a person to communicate and share their emotions. Communication lord is also forming connection with the seventh house lord. So these people, seventh house is also the house of business. So business in the field of communication can also be seen. Business in the field of communication can also be seen if you are having this conjunction. People who are into the share market, stock market, they are also having this conjunction. Why? Because Venus represents the liquidity. Okay, liquidity. And sixth house is other people money or actually making money on the quick manner. I made one video earlier over the combination of easy money. So I told you the planets which are responsible for easy money. So Mercury, Venus and Mars up to some extent they are responsible for that part. In the similar manner, you can also study other conjunctions. We will take more difficult examples also so that you can understand the point which I am trying to say here. And now we are going to be taking making the examples by looking into the events that are going to be particularly happening in someone's life. For example, suppose you are having Saturn with Moon conjunct. What will happen then? And what will happen if I add Rahu also in it? What will happen? These are certain deadly and some difficult conjunctions actually. They are not easy conjunctions, they are difficult conjunctions. Saturn, Moon, Rahu. Sun and Mars conjunction in the horoscope. What this is going to be doing here. Sun and Mars conjunction. Venus and Rahu and Venus and Ketu, what they will do in the horoscope. We will also try to understand. Jupiter forming connection with Rahu and Jupiter forming connection with Ketu, what will happen? What is the difference in that part? Or even you are having Saturn and Venus, or maybe you are having Saturn and Sun conjunction. So what will happen in that case? Now understand one very simple concept here. Saturn, I told you, it's gaining control over these two houses and this is your fourth house. Fourth house is the Janam Sthan, it's the place where you were born actually. So if Saturn is forming connection with Moon, it means you need to go away from the place of birth in order for you to become or achieve something from the career regard. At the same time, 11th house, that is the house of your hopes, wishes and desires. So if your Moon is also forming connection with your hopes and wishes and desire, what will happen? And Rahu is also there. Rahu is again this house lord. It means your mental peace. Fourth house is the mental peace of the person. You will not be able to maintain the mental peace because of Saturn, Moon and Rahu. Because this will give you more and more and more desires. Saturn is also the planet of fear. So your desires are going to give you fear at the same time if you are having Saturn, Moon and Rahu conjunction. In the same manner, you can also try to connect some darker significance of these grahas. Saturn is also the planet which represent legal matters, legal disputes. So if, for example, this conjunction is forming in the sign of Aries, in this sign, in the sign of Aries, okay, the first number zodiac sign. So what will happen if that conjunction is falling in the sign of Aries? Now Aries is Mars energy, and I told you Mars is gaining control over the 8th house at the same time. So first of all, this conjunction have the capacity to create upside down into your own life. Fourth house is the family life, upside down in the family life, upside down in the career environment, upside down into the monetary part. Similarly, Sun and Mars conjunction. Sun is naturally the gaining control over the fifth. So what will happen here? Trine lords are conjunct up there. It means there is certain auspiciousness which is present inside this conjunction. First house is you, fifth house is your intellect and your intelligence. And Mars is also gaining control over the eighth house. It means your intellect, your intelligence will also going to be deeply dying into the occult studies. Because what is Surya? Sun is the Prakash Graha. It represents light is falling over something. So this will give you light in these activities, 8th house related activities. Similarly, Venus with Rahu and Venus with Ketu. What is the difference? Now you will understand. Venus is gaining control over these two houses and Ketu is this house. Now, if for example you are having Venus with Rahu, it means second house Lord and 11th house Lord, they are conjunct together. Second house and 11th house, what will give? Money. They will give wealth. So it will give you, very first thing, this will give money. Very first thing. Because here what is happening? Money and wealth Lord are conjunct. Similarly, suppose you are having Venus with Saturn. Same thing applicable. Same thing applicable. 7th house is the house of marriage. It means event of marriage can also increase the monetary aspect. So if you are having Venus with Rahu, in your horoscope, what will happen? As soon as you are getting married, your financial status will go up, irrespective which ascendant you are or where this conjunction is posited. Because in the natural Kaal Purush Kundali, Rahu is gaining control over the 11th house of money. And Venus in the natural Kaal Purush Kundali gaining control over the second house of wealth. So your incoming gain and your savings, they are conjunct together. Similarly with Venus and Ketu. Now look here, Venus is gaining control over second and Ketu is the 8th house Lord. It means something related to inheritance. Inheritance. So whosoever is having Venus and Ketu in the chart, they are having certain inherited problems in their horoscope or in their life. Certain disputes into the inheritance. Venus is also your love life, your relationship. And 8th house is that Dusthana. It's that negative, that dark house. And Ketu is the planet of spirituality. So Venus and Ketu also represents the more and more you are going to suffer, the more amount of spirituality you are going to be gaining into your own life. Because of this conjunction, you can also become a sadhu, saint. You don't want to get married. You don't want to get indulged into the monetary or into other world. Because whenever I will tell you this 8th house, Mars and Ketu, specifically planet Ketu, maybe you are having Venus Ketu, Jupiter Ketu, Saturn Ketu, Mercury Ketu conjunction, or maybe Sun, Venus and Ketu conjunction. Anywhere I will tell you, wherever Ketu goes in the horoscope, you understand the 8th house energy sitting up there. If your Ketu is maybe posited in the 10th house, you are having Saturn and Ketu conjunction. So what will happen? It means Ketu is that 8th house, that dark energy is posited in the house of career. If Saturn and Ketu is even posited up there, I'm just giving you one example. Suppose you are having Saturn with Ketu here. Same thing applicable. Because the significance of the planet is going to be there, and 8th house and 10th house, their significance is getting created. Similarly, Jupiter with Rahu and Jupiter with Ketu. Jupiter is your 9th house Lord and Rahu is 11th house Lord. This is also a wealth giving conjunction. Why it is wealth giving conjunction? And you are receiving wealth because of your Bhagya. 9th house is fortune. So if you want to study your fortune, look Jupiter. And look the planets that are forming conjunction with planet Jupiter. If your Jupiter is forming connection with Venus also, 9th house Lord and 2nd house Lord, they are conjunct together. So their significance, you need to pick the significance actually. The main point I want to make here, try to pick the significance of both the houses and try to mix their and merge their energy. Similarly with Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter is also gaining control over the 12th house and 7th house. 12th house is foreign land and foreign country. 7th house is the house of marriage. So if you are having Jupiter with Venus conjunction, because of your life partner, you might going to go abroad, or your partner is going to be coming from foreign country into your own life. This can also create a lot of cultural differences between you and your partner. In this way, you can make the predictions. You are having Jupiter with Ketu. Now Jupiter is 9th house, 12th house, and Ketu is that 8th house. So what will happen? Your Bhagya is getting disturbed. Bhagya simply means fortune, your luck factor. And the only ways to enhance your Bhagya or your luck factor with Jupiter and Ketu is by doing sadhana, spiritual sadhana. 9th house is Guru, seeking the blessings of some spiritual Guru. This will help you to evolve your Bhagya. Similarly, you are having Sun, a Saturn with Venus conjunction. Saturn is naturally the controller of the 11th house and 10th house. And Venus is gaining control over this house. So first of all, you can combine this and this. So Saturn and Venus will give result over the 2nd house plus 11th house. Then you can combine the 7th house and 10th house. And you can also even try to combine 7th house with 11th house also. So these are the 4 variations which are coming. And you can also combine the 2nd house with the 10th house. 2 plus 10. Because these are the houses which are connected up there. So how you can now predict Saturn and Venus conjunction? What is 2nd and 11th house representing? It's a Lakshmi Yoga. So this is a wealth giving combination. What does 7th and 10th house symbolizes? 10th house is your career, 7th house is your spouse. So this conjunction is also going to be creating positive or negative impact over your spouse career, depending over the dignity. 7th plus 11th house, event of marriage and incoming gain, they are interconnected with one another. 7th house is also the house of business. So business partnerships and the event of marriage, they are also interconnected with one another. 2nd and 10th house, this is also a Raj Yoga. It means with Saturn and Venus, if they are also these houses lords, so this will give rise of reputation actually. Similarly, Sun and Saturn conjunction. Saturn and Sun. Have you observed the people with Sun and Saturn conjunction? They are having some government, something related to government. It may be negative, positive, but something related to government is going to be there. Why so? It may be legal disputes with the government, fighting with the government. And don't only study conjunctions into the natal birth chart. You can also need to study the conjunctions into the Bhavachalit Kundli at the same time. Because in the Bhavachalit chart, the planets are also going to be shifting. Maybe it appears to be in the 2nd house. But if you pick up your Bhavachalit chart, this Venus might go here also in the line actually. It's not in this house, not fully in this house. So it will give 50-50% result. So you also need to study conjunctions using the Bhavachalit Kundli. You need to pay attention towards your Bhavachalit chart for understanding the conjunctions in more detail. I have seen many times people are having excellent 7th house, but in the Bhavachalit Kundli, this is shifting. And then this is on the line. It's neither in this house, neither in this house. It's giving 50-50% result. So in this way, you need to try to connect the significance, house significance with this thing. In this way, you will be able to study the planetary conjunctions into the more detail. You can also watch my playlist section over the planetary conjunctions. I have also made few videos up there and will make further videos at the same time. We will discuss regarding the 3 planetary, 4 planetary and 5 planetary conjunctions also and how to study. You just need to try to connect the house significance and planet significance in it. This have the capacity to help you more deeper predictions with regards to Vedic astrology. So I hope you have found some unique ideas in this video with me, and if you love this concept, you can also contribute to my work by sending me super thanks in appreciation to that work. You can find the $sign with the heart icon below, and make sure to subscribe my channel below. If you really found some deeper insights regarding any consultations, you can drop me an email. Any career consultation, business consultation, marriage, spiritual consultation, do let me know. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon. You can also explore the playlist here. It's the playlist of planetary conjunction. This will help you to deeply dive into the Vedic astrology on more part. So I hope you have gained some deep insights in this predictive astrology session, and we will continue making more such videos over the YouTube platform. So till then, please take care and Hare Krishna.